I am a student in Germany. I had always thought of this place as calm, organized, predictable. A country where everything had rules, where streets were quiet, where dormitories were safe. I never believed that something truly unexplainable could happen here, not like the stories you hear from old villages or forgotten places. Not here. But one night proved me wrong. It was late, around 11:30 at night, the kind of hour when the city feels half asleep, but not entirely quiet. My phone rang. It was Sarah. Sarah had been my close friend for years. She was gentle, intelligent, and deeply sensitive. She had struggled with panic attacks for a long time. Doctors had tried to explain it: stress, anxiety, overthinking. But no one ever found a clear reason. That night, her voice was shaking. "Can you come to me?" she said. "I'm scared. I don't feel well." I didn't hesitate. I put on my jacket and left my apartment. The walk to her dorm usually took about 25 minutes. I had done it dozens of times before. But that night, my phone signal was weak. The internet kept cutting out. I opened the map. It showed a shortcut, a narrow forest path connecting my street to the dorm area. 4 or 5 minutes, it said. I had never taken that path at night before. The entrance to the forest was dark. No streetlights, no houses, just trees standing close together, swallowing sound. I stepped inside. The darkness was heavier than I expected. The path was narrow, barely wide enough for one person. My phone light showed only a few meters ahead. I kept checking the map. The signal flickered. Once or twice I drifted slightly off the path, 10, maybe 20 meters. Each time I corrected myself. That's when I felt it. The first time it was subtle, a strange awareness, as if someone was too close behind me. I told myself it was anxiety, my imagination, the forest amplifying normal fear. But then it happened again. Breathing. Slow, soft, close. So close that my shoulders tightened. I didn't turn around. I couldn't. I kept walking faster. My phone light shook in my hand. The breathing felt closer, closer than any human should stand. Then I felt it. A cold pressure against my back. Not a touch, not a push. More like something attaching itself to me, pressing flat, matching my movement. My chest tightened. My breath became shallow. I saw a distant light ahead. Streetlights. The main road. I stepped out of the forest. The feeling vanished instantly. Sarah was standing outside her dorm. I waved. She waved back. Relief washed over me. As I reached her, I turned my head slightly. Behind me, on the path I had just exited, a girl was walking. She wore a red jacket. She was coming from the forest. I didn't look closely. Something in me refused to. We went inside. That night, Sarah couldn't sleep. She woke up repeatedly from panic attacks. Her hands were cold, her breathing shallow. I stayed with her, sat beside her bed, held her hand until morning.
When I woke up in the chair, she was already making breakfast. I asked her one question. "Did you see the girl behind me last night?" She looked confused. "No," she said. "It was only you. There was nobody there." 4 nights later, it happened again. Another panic attack, another late call. I went back to her dorm. As I walked down the hallway, I felt watched. Not seen, watched. Sarah went to sleep around midnight. I stayed awake. Around 3 in the morning, I heard it. Crying. Soft. Broken. It came from the room next to hers. I had heard sounds from that room before. Whispering, movement, water running. But I had never seen anyone enter or leave. Sarah began to tremble. She wrapped herself in blankets, shivering despite the warm weather. She told me she heard sounds too, studying, whispering, someone there, but she had never seen anyone. I asked around. The dorm manager said the room had been empty for 6 months. Eventually, the room was opened. It was completely empty, except for one thing. A painting. An old wooden house. On the back, written in red, was a name. Samantha. After the painting was removed, the sound stopped. Sarah improved. The room stayed empty. And the forest path? I never walked through it again. Because sometimes places don't let go. They follow.